Gentleman is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Murtha and the Out of Iraq Caucus. The president will not bring an end to this war. He says it's a decision for the next president. But he's building permanent bases in Iraq, and he's determined to keep 50,000 troops in Iraq into the distant future. This Congress may not bring an end to this war because the real power to end the war is in a cutoff of funds. Congress keeps appropriating funds in the name of the troops, and the troops will stay in Iraq instead of coming home. Only the American people can bring an end to this war as they brought an end to the Vietnam War. Let this be a time of stirring of civic soul. It's a time for a reawakening of civic conscience. There were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, but there are WMDs in D.C. Lies are weapons of mass destruction. 2,500 soldiers dead. Over 10,000 Iraqis, innocent Iraqis, have died. It's time for an end to our national sleepwalk through the graveyard of the Iraq War. It's time for truth, a time for clarity, a time for action, a time for teach-ins, for meetups, for marches, for rallies about the war to begin at college campuses, at churches, at labor halls, at libraries. Time to gather in civic centers, in town halls, to discuss the truth about this war and to plan civic action to end it. Time for the American people to exercise their First Amendment rights, to stand up and speak out. Time to redirect the policies of this country. Time to learn and practice peaceful, nonviolent conflict resolution. Time to believe in our capacity to evolve beyond war, to believe and act under the belief that war is not inevitable and peace is inevitable if we're ready to commit to the daily work of peace building everywhere. The global war on terror has become a global war of error. Attacking or threatening countries which did not attack us, bombing neighborhoods to save neighborhoods, committing atrocities in the name of stopping atrocities, losing our vision, losing our way in the world, sacrificing our children and their future, giving up their future resources for education, for health care, for housing, piling it all high on the altar of war and worshiping a false god of destruction. When we begin these proceedings with this remembrance, thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory. We're not talking about any nation. We're talking about a force which is above all of us. The world is not ours to conquer. There's no glory in the abuse of power. This president will not bring an end to this war, absent the Murtha resolution. This Congress may not bring an end to this war, but the American people certainly will bring an end to this war. They will do it in the streets, and they will do it at the ballot box, and the American people will become the Out of Iraq Caucus.
Young lady from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to yield 1.5 minutes to the gentleman from Virginia.